Hey guys, it's me, Miss Norris, and today I'd like to share a read aloud of a fun story called The Dream. The Dream is part of the collection of short stories called Frog and Toad Together, and Frog and Toad Together was written in 1971 by Arnold Lobel. Today's story tells the tale of Toad and an interesting dream that he has. If you're ready to hear the story, I'm ready to share it with you. Here we go. The Dream. Toad was asleep and he was having a dream. He was on a stage and he was wearing a costume. Toad looked out into the dark. Frog was sitting in the theater. A strange voice from far away said, "Presenting the greatest toad in all the world." So in Toad's dream, he's up on stage wearing a fancy costume, and his friend Frog is in the audience in the theater. And he's been introduced as the greatest toad in the world. Toad took a deep bow. Frog looked smaller as he shouted, "Hooray for Toad!" "Toad will now play the piano very well," said the strange voice. Toad played the piano, and he did not miss a note. "Frog," cried Toad, "can you play the piano like this?" "No," said Frog. It seemed to Toad that Frog looked even smaller. So the voice announced that Toad would play the piano, and he did a great job, but he looked out in the audience and he thought his friend looked smaller. "Toad will now walk on a high wire and he will not fall down," said the voice. Toad walked on the high wire. "Frog," cried Toad, "can you do tricks like this?" "No," peeped Frog, who looked very, very small. So first, Toad is introduced as walking on the high rope. And Toad is doing a great job, and he's asking Frog if he can do these things. And as he's doing it, Frog just keeps getting smaller and smaller. Dreams are so strange. "Toad will now dance, and he will be wonderful," said the voice. "Frog, can you be as wonderful as this?" said Toad, as he danced all over the stage. There was no answer. Toad looked out into the theater. Frog was so small that he could not be seen or heard. "Frog," said Toad, "where are you?" There was still no answer. "Frog, what have I done?" cried Toad. So first, Toad dances wonderfully. And then we can't see Frog in the audience anymore. And Toad is calling for him, and he thinks that he's made his friend disappear. Then the voice said, "The greatest Toad will now—" "Shut up!" screamed Toad. "Frog, Frog, where have you gone?" Toad was spinning in the dark. "Come back, Frog," he shouted. "I will be lonely." So the voice was about to introduce Toad doing something else, but it made Toad mad. And he told him to shut up. And all he cared about was finding his friend. And because it's a dream, he starts spiraling out, trying to find his friend. "I am right here," said Frog. Frog was standing near Toad's bed. "Wake up, Toad," he said. "Frog, is that really you?" said Toad. "Of course it is me," said Frog. "And are you your own right size?" Toad? Yes, I think so, said Frog. Toad looked at the sunshine coming through the window. Frog, he said, I am so glad that you came over. I always do, said Frog. So now Toad is realizing that he was dreaming because his friend Frog woke him up. And he says, thank you for waking me up. And Frog says, hey, that's what I kind of do every day. Then Frog and Toad ate a big breakfast, and after that, they spent a fine, long day together. The end. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the story of the dream. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button at the bottom of the page. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. If you're not a subscriber yet, please click that subscribe button down there at the bottom of the page. And don't forget to click the bell so that you're notified when there's new content. Ladies and gentlemen, this may be our last Frog and Toad Friday. If you've joined me throughout the summer reading all the Frog and Toad Fridays, I thank you so much. If you've missed any of them, please go back and check the playlist for Frog and Toad Together and Frog and Toad Are Friends. I hope to see you all again real soon. Bye-bye.